All right, I threw this little topic at Joe today, and so we're going to just see how it goes. We are going to talk about how people make decisions of putting their parent or family member into assisted living or not, or keep them home, making those decisions. Because that is really difficult for a lot of people. And I thought we'd just kind of run through how we've made the decision so far over the last 2 years, and how we might be reconsidering.
Might be reconsidering.
Yeah. So let's get started.
Hi!
I'm Amy.
And I'm Joe.
And we're the Rolling Rogans.
Whoa!
Rolling. We are rolling.
It's the Rolling Rogans Show! Whoa!
And that's how I'll line up the video with the audio. Oh, sorry.
Pound that. Rock, paper, scissors? What? What was that?
I don't know. We are rolling in the Tesla.
It's rolling.
It's rolling, heading back after
I can pick my nose and drink my coffee while the car drives and changes lanes, ladies and gentlemen, for your viewing pleasure.
Remember, we have listeners that are not always viewing. So Joe is now drinking his coffee.
And picking my nose. You ever get that booger that you can't get off one finger, so then you flip it, and then all of a sudden it gets onto the other fingernail, and then when you try to roll it again, it gets onto the other fingernail?
No, honey, that's just you.
No?
No.
Oh.
Yeah. And before I forget again, please like and subscribe and share and comment and all those good things to help us out and help more people.
And buy a Tesla.
Our referral link will be in the comments.
You won't be disappointed, because you can pick your nose and drink your coffee
while it drives home.
While it drives home.
So, when we went out to California to basically, in a way, rescue your mom.
Yes.
We didn't realize, we knew that she had full-time care, right?
We weren't aware of any of that. We weren't aware that, we knew she had problems with her eyes.
And she couldn't drive.
And
yeah. When her husband passed away, her sister was helping her a little bit, but that seemed temporary.
But our main mission was to get, I don't know. Actually, our mission first was just to be there to console her. It wasn't to help her that. It was like she lost her husband, so we had the idea that was being taken care of. And
we were told
Yeah, so it's just, family coming together and consoling and going out there to help her. So,
so it became a bigger job than you expected.
It became a way bigger job.
Gotcha.
I mean...
And I feel like that's what happens to families, is that a big crisis happens and they get thrown into this. And we've talked about that before on another episode. But that's when we realized that, she definitely has some kind of cognitive situations, but we didn't know what it was. We thought more could be depression because... And the grief. Yeah. We just I think we assumed it was more of that, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Yeah. I mean, she's never been able to, do a lot of, go to meetings and listen to, conversations of, finances and things like that. She could, at one time, balance a checkbook and make payments. No
she
problem
did the basics.
there. But when it comes to having instructions on doing something like, buying a house, she wouldn't have no idea how to do it.
Okay, so selling her house and stuff.
Yes.
When we were out there, she didn't know what to do.
Right.
So she could easily be taken advantage of.
Exactly.
And she has been taken advantage of.
And honestly, if they didn't, if the both of them didn't fuck their finances, my mom could have actually probably still lived in California.
Mm-hmm. Even if it wasn't assisted living.
If it was assisted living, or even having somebody move in and have a roommate or whatever in her own house.
True. But
the fact is they weren't paying for their house, and they almost lost their house when we found it.
Right.
Because they weren't paying the mortgage for 4 years.
So when the conversation started coming up with her about moving out of state, because she had been wanting to move out of California for quite a few years, but they never did. So the conversation started about being close to family. So it was either Pennsylvania with your brother or Florida with us. But we lived in a van, so technically it wasn't Florida.
Right. I gave her the option.
Yeah.
And even if it was another state, we would look into that. I just said, where do you want to go from here?
Mm-hmm. So being that we lived in the van, the initial thought was she was actually wanting to go into assisted living at that time.
That's true.
She wanted to be in a community. She wanted to be around people, so that she wasn't alone. She was taken care of. And I mean, she was excited about that. And I put the little trip together for you.
Mm-hmm.
You and your mom flew out to Florida to go check out the assisted living homes. Turns out I scheduled too many in 1 week, right? And kind of overwhelmed her.
You Sunderlagi did. Sorry.
My maiden name is Sunderlich, and he calls it Sunderlagi. That's the German sort of pronunciation.
Sunderlagi.
And my family tends to overdo things or not do. Yeah, basically.
They don't know when to slow down or stop.
We have a
They
little
take
trouble with
out
that.
more than they can handle.
Well, I was maximizing the trip, but she wasn't capable of doing that. She definitely could not travel alone.
No.
I mean, she was freaking out. You had the wheelchair service in the airport?
Yep.
And you were behind the guy pushing the wheelchair, and she was freaking out. Like, where are you?
Yeah, she kept turning, looking, making sure that she wasn't going to get kidnapped or something.
Yeah. So we knew some assisted living was definitely needed. She couldn't live on her own. But then...
Well, she would even be afraid of going to a park.
I remember that. We took her to a park to get her out.
Because they were so paranoid about, I don't know, think they're going to get attacked or something. I don't know what happened.
He isolated her a lot. And I don't know how much of that was her participation or what. But, so when you got here, though, and you guys were overwhelmed, you had to cancel some of the assisted living visitation, tours and stuff. You guys connected with her cousin, which we talked about before. And they became roommates.
Right.
Which for us, and transitioning her from California, I feel like that worked out really, really well, because we weren't having to try to align selling her house and getting an assisted living and scheduling the move-in dates. It bought us time to figure out what to do.
Yeah.
So that roommate situation really worked out for both your mom and your cousin, I think, and for us as trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, initially it was a good way of, okay, so she's rooming with my cousin, but at some point we would reevaluate and probably put her in assisted living. But lo and behold, the house happened.
The house next for sale happened, which I think we talked about in another episode. Yeah, so we don't have to recap too much on that. And it worked out good, because with the onset of the Alzheimer's, we don't know how it progressed, but it definitely progressed more that your mom needs a very specific environment, and her cousin's house was too overstimulating for her. Mm-hmm. Your cousin talks too fast for her. There's too much noise, too much clutter. Maybe it's just your mom, it wasn't hers, because she's very selfish.
She is very selfish.
So and I know a lot of people, struggle with the idea of moving in with, whether the parent moves in with the children, or what we basically did. We all just came together. Since we lived in the van, we got the house and we moved in with her. So I don't know. We moved in together. I don't. We made a community effort.
My plan is to, anything I make going forward for her is a win, because her income was shot. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to feel bad or responsible if any money is completely lost after this. So what do I have to lose? Is why not build something instead of staying on a fixed income?
Right.
That could benefit us at the same time, but also have her enjoy a life living and not having to worry about paying for things.
Well, and because part of that is the challenge of, we have basically shut down our life, our travels. We've put a lot of our projects on hold, which we're trying to do in between, our book.
I didn't necessarily feel like I shut it down. I just didn't want to do it anymore. So this seemed to be the.
But this became your basically your full-time job.
Yes.
So a lot of people don't have that luxury to make that their full-time job. They've got to balance their work and home and kids and all this other stuff. So the decision of having the parent move in is extremely difficult.
Oh, absolutely.
And then you start adding the strain on marriages, and the family dynamics changes.
Which is ironic because my mom booted her mom out when she was getting older because she wanted to be with her new husband, in a relationship.
And she keeps saying she never wanted to be like her mom, and now she's being like her mom.
Completely. To the point of even alienating people.
Yeah.
You said it just a while ago, was that we're the last people out of that circle that she's ready to,
even her cousin that lives next door, she is refusing to do anything with her cousin, and basically is going so far as to doing the opposite of whatever her cousin wants in some respects. And just trying to share our experience to help people understand that we're all going through stuff like this together. So basically the strain on family relationships and dynamics as the dementia or caregiving progresses. I don't. We try to be prepared, but I don't think you're ever fully prepared for this, because each person is different and each dynamic is different.
I think also that if you have things on your plate that you're trying to get off, like things to accomplish in your own life, and if they're being impeded or affected by it, that's where this becomes such a struggle. It becomes so hard. Because I'm at this point where working on the book and trying to finishing a book, I got 39 pages left. But I look at it as if I had this book finished, I don't know, I think I would be more directed on to the next task of taking on what I'm doing with caregiving. Meaning, I'll be a hard ass on my mom. I will take her freedoms away. That she thinks that, she's going to get this and she's going to get that.
Is it because she is being so selfish and so defiant on things?
Her selfishness and her, attitude is going to make her broke.
And she's done that before.
And she's done this in a vicious cycle, especially in California. I could see how this pattern is being repeated.
Gotcha.
Hence, we've taken her ability we've took her cash away. She doesn't get an allowance.
She used to get an allowance. She asked for it, and then we just stopped doing it. I don't remember why we even stopped, and then she hasn't asked for it either.
Right. And we don't have her think about it, and even if she says, I need this, it's only we cut exactly what she's going to buy, not just give her money and go spend it. Mm-hmm. Because if she did, she spends it in ways, especially if she's with her boyfriend, she doesn't care. She's just going to spend whatever it is to make her boyfriend happy.
Her love language is
monetary
buying things.
amount.
And so she even tried to offer to buy his prescriptions.
Which was $800.
And which he has plenty of money to buy his own prescriptions.
Right. But she could be swooping in, being the hero, like this. Yes. So, this is kind of something that, as a caregiver, if you're going to have to play bad cop, you play bad cop. Mm-hmm. I'm not playing bad cop right now because I have other stuff on my plate.
Right.
And if I had that taken care of some of those things, small things, for say even outside, we cut down that 75-foot tree and now it's finally out of our yard. Mm-hmm. I don't have to go do that anymore. I can go do the next task, growing outside, growing our food and things like that. Mm-hmm. Or making sure I stuff food in my mom's mouth.
We are getting to the point where she is... you basically have to put food in front of her so that she eats.
Correct.
And as we, Tuesday is our respite day. That's the day we go take Joe to karate, and we're on our way back. And I checked on her because we have cameras in the house to make sure, if she falls or something. And I caught on the camera that she was walking around the house yelling and complaining that nobody was there to give her food. But she tells us to our face that, I can cook. I'm going to cook a big, Mardi Gras, or no, not Mardi Gras, St. Patrick's Day. She's going to cook corned beef and cabbage and all this other stuff. And we're like, Okay, so what they say versus what we actually know is the actual behavior is different. And I feel a lot of kids or people that are caregivers that aren't living with the person full time, if you don't realize that they're saying one thing and what they're actually doing is definitely different. And so I feel like it's possible that a lot of people wait too long to get the parent in an assisted living or something like that. If you can't have them move in with you, or if nobody is able to actually take them in, and you have to put them in a care facility, a lot of people, it comes back to that crisis again. Like something happens, they fall, and then they have to go in. So I guess I'm leaning into the planning stage, looking ahead and paying attention. I know we all have our lives to deal with and stuff, but we've got to pay attention to them and do what's best for them and for the caregivers, us as the caregiver. So I guess what's really started this conversation was that earlier this week, after
my mom became a super bitch.
Well,
oh, sorry.
She's been that way, but our tolerance level somehow slipped.
Yeah, we let it get to us.
So she spent Thursday through Sunday at her boyfriend's house.
Right. And I did take them on their date on Friday to karaoke, so that's a way I could just check in with my mom. And
so that gives us a break. So right now, the whole boyfriend thing, it's a blessing and a curse at the same time because of the way she's so obsessed with him. But
my mom is so fucking horny. It's just disturbingly like
there's part of her brain that I believe is damaged that is causing hypersexuality.
It's an obsession. It's
yes.
Like it's so like
it is a very unhealthy obsession.
It's that obsession where you see that person saying like, oh, he looked at me, like I know he likes me, and he was just kind of like looking at a fly flying by or something.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. It's like he gave me all the right signals. Like
it's just like looking at somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. Or if he talks to another with her obsession with guys, like especially this guy that she's fixated on.
Like at karaoke, some guy was nice to her, and she's
she's saying, I don't want to talk to him because I don't want Richard to think I'm jealous.
Like he's going to be jealous,
or Richard's going to be jealous or whatever. And I'm like, Richard doesn't care.
And the other guy was just being nice.
Yeah.
He wasn't hitting on you. Not every guy that talks to you is hitting on you.
They're just kind of talking. Like, it's not like, but that's the thing is, like, she can construe that as anything. Like, if you're around Richard and you're talking to her, like, she'll get nasty about it because, like, she says, I don't want Richard to think.
Yeah.
That, like, I'm interested in another guy.
So, going back to the assisted living part, this wouldn't be as big of an issue if they were both in the assisted living facility.
If they were.
They can just go room to room.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. But the fact that we are in separate houses and they're driving back and forth and she wants him to live with us and all this other stuff, and it's like, no, we cannot be his caregiver. This puts a very strange dynamic in...
Or that's even vice versa, because she's like, I could go up to Michigan with Richard, and
he needs a wife
and stuff, and like my mom can't even take care of herself, so now I have to I wonder how his kids would feel about that, because it's like they're not supposed to be taking care of my mom.
Right, we don't want to take care of their dad, and they shouldn't have to take care of our mom.
This is why we need robots.
But at some point, we're going to have to be the bad guys, because whether either he passes away and we deal with the aftermath of that, or somebody's going to have to tell her she can't move up to Michigan, or how do we figure that out? Like, this is such a strange situation.
Well, you gotta be a bad guy. That's where I'm coming down to this, and
Do you feel guilty about being the bad guy?
No, actually I don't. But I'm focused on our other tasks at hand. That's what it is.
What are the tasks at hand?
Finishing this book.
Okay, and keeping her safe and comfortable?
Yes. And apparently she's starting to make it it's going faster, where all attention is going to have to be on her, and that's going to distract from our projects and our things that we do.
So I'm going to go back to this last weekend, where she came back on Sunday, and I'd say within 24 hours of her being back, we already had hit our limit, right?
We did hit our limit.
And part of it was my fault. I thought I could still do something, but so Sunday night at dinner, she asked to get her hair cut, and you said you had to work on Monday, so you couldn't take her.
Right.
And my response was, we'll have to see tomorrow morning, Monday morning, to see if my body is going to let me do something,
because you have health challenges.
I have my chronic pain, so some days I get up and I'm fine. Some days I don't. I can't. So it's a crapshoot. Who knows? And her response was, well, if my sister was here, she would take me. And I'm like, I didn't say I was not gonna take her, and you were even offering on Wednesday.
Right. It's like, it's too early. I have to work. If I had known this, I could actually.
There was no negotiation.
Yeah. And I said, I'll be going to work, but after I come back, I have karate on Tuesdays. I'm not giving that up. Mm-hmm. So Wednesday would be a good day. I will take you.
That wasn't good enough. So Monday, I woke up, I felt okay, and I was getting myself ready to go. I actually ended up having to go into town to drop my sleep study off. And actually, you told me not to go. You told me not to take her.
Right.
So I felt weird, or I guess maybe the guilty part, of going into town without taking her. So I thought I could do it. And I get her to the hair salon. She snaps at me, and she's starting to get agitated because the lights are too bright. There's too many people. So we're seeing what her triggers are: is lights being too bright, too many people, too much overstimulation. And sometimes we just kind of have to test it to see what actually triggers her. And this is definitely a trigger, so we're going to avoid that for the future. But while she was getting her hair cut, one of the ladies at the salon comes up to me, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, why?" And she goes, "Is that your mom?" And I said, "No, my mother-in-law." And she goes, I heard her snap at you. Is everything okay?" And I said, "Oh, she's got Alzheimer's, and her caregiver." And it was really nice in one respect that somebody actually paid attention and noticed that. I guess I looked like a little defeated or something, that there was an issue going on, and actually stepped up to say something, which was really nice of her. I really appreciate that. But at the same time, I put her in a position that also drained me, because it was so much energy to keep her calm and keep her in a happier state, and it drained me too much.
I want to replay that, because I'm just curious, like a what if factor.
Yeah.
What if you said you weren't okay? What if you started to break down crying, and you just point to my mom and say, "She's doing this to me," and my mom is aware of it and seeing it? I was just curious.
That would be interesting. But in the mid-stage dementia, this is the hard part. They look fine. They talk to other people just fine. And the caregiver is the one that's basically shit on all the time.
Yeah, because apparently elder abuse wins. Anybody that does anything to an elder, you don't have any slack on that at all.
And I will say there's a lot of people that do take advantage of elders. So I get that. But it is a fine line of just people's perceptions of what's going on. And unless you're living it, it's really hard to gauge that, I guess.
Yeah.
I hope I do not put myself in that position again to do that.
Well, and that's why, it was great that you did it, and I'm not saying you should have or you shouldn't, but for your own health,
I can't do it anymore.
Don't do it.
No, and then when I got back, and I thought that I was just explaining the observations of like, hey, I'm seeing these triggers for her, and I'm just telling you stories. But that seemed to trigger you as well.
Yeah.
And then she complained about not having the house clean.
Yeah, because that's never going to matter anyways. I know that. You know, that's like, even if I was there and I cleaned the house in front of her, like this is the appetite that I see where like she'll just spend money. Because, like she says, we need to get a carpet cleaner, like, service to come out here. So apparently I need to spend $400 to clean a carpet that the next day she's going to come in and say, this house is a mess. Mm-hmm. No amount is going to satisfy her insatiable appetite to have things, like, fixed. Like, it doesn't matter. And so, like, so I'm going to do the carpet cleaning myself because, I'm going to do everything and figure it out. But, like, I rather just take that bullshit like flack. And
that's the thing is, with Alzheimer's and stuff, they live in the present moment.
Right.
So if you don't take care of it in that immediate moment, you get pushback, you get agitation, you get aggressiveness.
Right. But so your glass has to be full, and your glass was not full.
My glass was not full. And you saw that, and then we started questioning how much longer we're going to be able to do this.
Right.
The crazy thing is we've only been here full time for 5 months in this house. We haven't even made it a full year, and we're starting to question this already.
Right.
So, like I said, I want to show people that it's okay to start questioning it. I know a lot of people feel guilty. For us in our situation, the agitation and the aggressiveness is your mom's always been, like we said, very selfish, very aggressive. You remember childhood stories about her temper. So I could see for other people that have a very good relationship with their parent, and
I wish I had that.
And have that lovingness, and like the parent was such a loving and calm person. Like if we were in a situation with your dad, I mean, we would definitely push harder to stay with your dad and keep him home as long as possible.
Oh, absolutely.
Because he is such a wonderful person. So giving and so kind, and just he's just so cute.
But someone,
where you get it from?
Yeah, but someone like my mom, like, you know,
she's made her bed.
Do they deserve that? Do they deserve having like this deserving love for the type of and shit that they've done to themselves, and they also done to their family?
And we can get a lot of flack for it, like, oh, you should be loving everybody, and this is that voices that we hear in ourselves. Like a lot of caregivers hear everybody else's opinions, but we all have to make that decision for ourselves. Yeah. And you know, we're definitely not doing elder abuse.
No.
But to outsiders, perception, like, it could be really misconstrued.
Oh, always. I mean, that's the thing. We get persecution, and that's the thing. I think you really have to develop that crocodile skin. That's the one that, you know, that criticizing of like how you're handling things and how you're doing things, even though they're not there at the moment, living it and doing it. You know, especially from what you saw at the salon, and they're like saying, "Are you okay?" Mm-hmm. You know, I mean. None of her sister or anybody, I guess, that, like, well, she's alienating mostly everybody now. Yeah. Is like gonna, like, wow, like, you know, she looks fine to me, you know, and everything, and I don't see anything wrong. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm
sister
like,
keeps saying that.
You spent 5 months with her, and you see what you're doing. Actually, I know that out in California, her sister was getting tired. Yes. And that's why she dumped her
on us. And we asked her when we were in California before we moved her. We asked if she could move in with her sister, and her sister said she could not take her. Yeah. I don't know if she's forgetting that now or what.
I don't know, but like, yeah, and you know, I don't know. It's just this is a lane we're in right now, but we may move out of that lane because we might decide, you know what, we want to start traveling again, and you know, I'm not going to do this.
Well, I think the breaking point of where we course correct, because we put this plan in place. We bought the house knowing that this was going to change the money situation of how much she's got left.
Right.
We have to keep her in the house as long as possible.
Right.
And yes, we would like to have the house as our retirement, but if that doesn't happen, we have to sell it for her, then that's so be it.
For peace of mind. Yeah.
But I really think our health is going to be the breaking point, and I don't want to let that get to that level. Like, we are going to still continue to
I think we will be adjusting, but I also think there is a little bit of a grit to stay in to see where this goes. I mean, not to be insanity where you just keep doing it over and over, have a shit fit and start losing it, but also what we're developing and what we're building, because there's two ways that could go. It's one, there could be this peace of mind after we are growing our own food and we are living in our own conditions of enjoying we can afford all these possibilities of someone else taking care of her without leaving that house.
True.
Because the fact is, using that capital that she has now as leverage to build her income for her well-being, not for my well-being, but for her, instead of being stuck on a fixed income.
I had another idea. Since we were opening the door again to putting her in a nursing home or something, we could still live in our trailer and rent the house out too.
Yeah, exactly.
So there are options.
ROI.
Yeah, there are options. So her money can continue growing,
and that rent
to
would
pay for her assisted living.
Assisted living.
Yeah.
Instead of her going to assisted living and just taking it out just completely draining. There's no ROI on that. It's what's on her fixed income left from her pension and her spousal survival benefits. But once she's gone, that goes away. Mm-hmm. You can't get that back.
Right.
And so where is the future for anybody that has a family that wants to leave a legacy? I'm not saying I'm trying to say, hey, wait a minute, that's my cut of money. I'm not being greedy. Mm-mm. I'm just trying to make a point is why let a system that is just only fueling and giving you the money for just a temporary time, when you could have an endless fountain that's still providing?
Well, and your mom also agreed before she started getting worse here. She also agreed that she wants you to enjoy the money now, and she also agreed
she wants to witness it.
She also agreed that she'd rather give it to family than to assisted livings.
Correct.
But again, I would like to have you consider that maybe when she's at her boyfriend's, to you and I go tour some places again.
Assisted living?
Yeah. And see what the updates are and just have that ready in place before, so that if something does happen, if a crisis does happen, we're ready to go.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind doing that, but I'm sick and tired of them calling me all the time, trying to sell a timeshare.
We just got them to stop.
That is so annoying. It's they don't listen to you when you're saying, well, we're not sure when this could happen if it does. They want a specific date when they're moving in.
Yeah, we're not ready for that.
I am tired of assisted living reasons for that. I get it. I understand the backup aspect of it, but
okay.
I'm just
okay. Well, maybe we work on some other options
or stuff
first.
That.
We do have the caregiver. We have Nancy, the caregiver. Neighbor who comes in. She actually helped us yesterday.
Yeah.
So the only day that your mom could have that doctor's appointment was Tuesday. And it was just the Botox injections, so it's not it was critical for us to be there. And so we actually paid her to...
And that's why I also feel I didn't give in and I didn't give my freedom away. I didn't give my sanity because I decided to still come down here regardless.
And you don't feel guilty about that, right?
Hell no. I don't feel guilty.
We're learning, we're getting better at standing up for that, aren't we?
I don't feel guilty if she has trouble taking a shit because she's been at her boyfriend's and she hasn't drank enough water.
We've gone through a lot over the last 2 years to help her do that stuff. And if we keep her home, she's going to be screaming at us about not letting her go to her boyfriend's, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do we let her basically destroy herself, or do we...
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, did I answer too quick?
I don't know. I wonder what the people think about that, the listeners.
Well, we'll lose viewers, or like we'll have some interesting conversations, or I don't know. But I mean, it's just what's in my heart right now. It's what I'm feeling, and
I feel like it comes and goes. There's some days that we're more compassionate, and then some days we're just drained, and I think that's normal. That's a common common aspect of this job of being caregivers.
If only I could be like a robot on wheels where I don't have any emotions behind this, that doesn't trigger me to speed up and ride somebody's ass or stop short.
Right?
It just does its task and without any kind of hesitation of anything.
And I'd say we're at least a year off of the robot, from what I've been gathering.
Well, it might go faster because we're in singularity.
Unless I can get them to give us a beta test and we can be one of the beta testers. And if it screws up, then I don't care. But I know that I'm in some of the Facebook groups and some other support groups and stuff that people feel extremely guilty. And some people even judge, like, how dare you put your loved one in assisted living or whatever. Everybody's situation is different, and it's a grieving process. It's a individual decision, and you do the best you can, and to be not so hard on yourself if you are gonna have to make that tough choice, because we do still need to be here. Because if we hurt ourselves, if we overdo ourselves, again, I'll go back to that statistic. 40% of caregivers die before the person that they're caring for because the stress is so bad.
Yeah, that's not worth it.
And
nothing like that is worth
I'm
it.
already dealing with my own chronic pains, chronic illnesses for 35 years. I'm already at a difficult level.
Would that be different?
Are we just stopping in the middle of the road? All right.
Just caution. Oh, I just picked my nose on camera.
Yes, you did. And the Tesla decided to...
Well, it slowed down in case, if the ambulance had to do, beeline a hard left.
I love how it actually recognizes the emergency vehicles. That's so cool. This is a robot on wheels. And now we just need to get it into the Optimus ones with hands. So it doesn't have arms
yet. It still has wheels. Can't help my mom there.
First job it's going to do is dishes. Mm-hmm. That was the best response. I love that. That was cute. Oh, that...
First thing we're going to do is we're going to sit down on a couch and watch, what's that movie, Idiocracy together. With a bucket of popcorn.
There you go.
That's what I'm going to do with it.
With the robot?
Yeah, with the robot.
All right.
And say, we're fucking idiots.
So, I actually just thought of something. If people watched the episode where we interviewed her, your mom.
Yeah.
It shows such a different side of her, and that's what I'm trying to say with the caregivers they get the brunt of the illnesses. Like, the person feels safe with you, which is good, but that also means that they give you the worst of them as well.
Yeah.
And my brother even when my brother and sister-in-law just came to visit, that my brother has heard our stories about how difficult it is, and he met her for an hour, and he was joking because he knows, dealing with my mom as well, that what it is to strangers is not what their behavior is to at home. And he was giving me a hard time. He's like, "What? She's fine. She looks great." And he was joking, and we could laugh about it at that moment, but some people aren't joking, and it's tough. So, but yeah, I felt like it was a conversation on my heart to have right now, because we did have this moment where we're like, uh-oh, do we need to reconsider this?
I want to go back. I didn't say reconsider. Okay. You're saying reconsider like we are already putting this on the table in the cards and figuring out what to do with my mom. What I meant to say is we are addressing this and talking about this, okay, not reconsidering. For some reason, you put a narrative that we're reconsidering. I don't know where that is coming from. If that's how you feel, then yes, we need to talk about that.
That's the way it sounded like when you said that to me.
I didn't say that. I don't think I said that.
I'm pretty sure you did.
I don't even remember saying that. I remember saying that, like, you know, we have to discuss or just kind of reevaluate.
Okay, maybe it was reevaluate.
Reconsider.
Then.
I meant reevaluate. That's the word I used.
Okay. Well.
And so that's.
So I'm just recording our reevaluation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, you know, and so now that I know your thoughts on this, then now we have to bring that to the table, and we do talk about it.
Yeah.
And that will be for the next exciting episode of the Rolling Rogans Art of Aging. Whoa!